Buongiorno guys, this is my season review of the Scuderia Ferrari F1 team. So let's get on with this. I would like to, before we start though, I would like to mention that it does take me a lot of effort to create these videos, and it does take me a long time to create these videos. I love doing them, and if you do like what you see, then you can always support me via sharing them, commenting, and just getting the word out. And if you really like what you see, then you can also do a great thing, especially if you happen to be a company watching this. You can actually now support me financially via Patreon and PayPal. Links are in the description below, and for all the details. But anyway, let's get on with this actual review. So, what happened? How was the Ferrari's 2017 F1 season? Well, they started. Their driver lineup was Kimi Räikkönen and Sebastian Vettel. Sebastian Vettel had a good start out the blocks, winning in the season opener in Australia. I think it was totally unexpected. I certainly didn't expect it. And then he had another win in Bahrain. And then they were actually in. He was actually in the title fight. Right. I think it started unraveling at the Baku Grand Prix, where Sebastian Vettel crashed into Lewis Hamilton after a safety car restart, behind the safety car. At the time, I thought that he should get a ban, and I still stand by that decision. If you haven't already done so, I will leave a link to that video at the end of this video. I think that and he then accused Lewis Hamilton of brake testing him, which was absolutely diabolical. Because Lewis didn't do it, and the unsporting thing, what I found with it, was that he actually deliberately drove into Lewis's car, and that's why I think he should have got a ban, because Mike Schumacher did a similar thing in 1997 at Jerez. Was it Jerez? No, it was in Suzuka. Sorry, with Jacques Villeneuve, when he was trying to go for the lead, and Michael Schumacher got a race. He got stripped of his runner-up position in the championship. So, but Vettel didn't get nothing, or got some penalty points, I do believe, and he got a 10-second grid, 10-second stop and go penalty. But and then the other thing was where it unraveled was in Silverstone, where both Ferraris had tire issues because they simply didn't want to. So they thought they could get the tires right till the end of the race, but and they didn't want to risk. They didn't want to take another pit stop. In the end, both tires they had tire issues with both cars, which meant that they lost a whole load of points because which was because they would have certainly been fighting for the podium position, in my opinion, but they lost that. So and then the other time when Sebastian Vettel totally lost his grip on the championship or any chance of winning the championship was in Singapore, when he was involved, when both of the Ferraris were actually involved, were taken out right at the start of the race with a massive crash, and a couple, on one occasion, I can't remember what race it was, Sebastian Vettel didn't even start. Anyway, this was Sebastian Vettel's season. Now let's move on to Kimi Räikkönen's season. And Kimi Räikkönen scored a few podiums, but I think he was never really allowed to challenge for any wins, because I believe that he could have won the Monaco Grand Prix, where he took a pole position, but he wasn't allowed to. So I reckon it was purely he is purely at Ferrari to be the water boy for Sebastian Vettel. And I think it's with Sebastian Vettel, it's a bit like the Schumacher era, when Michael Schumacher was the clear leader during his championship winning years, and whatever way they put it, the team was built around Michael Schumacher, and Barrichello and Eddie Irvine were really just water boys, and I think Kimi Räikkönen is the same. It's the same as Kimi Räikkönen for Sebastian Vettel. I do fear for Ferrari quite to be honest, because the reason, in my opinion, the reason why they've extended Kimi's contract is because he gets on with Sebastian Vettel and they don't want to rock the boat. But I think Ferrari would never ever put anybody young or an up and coming driver, you know, like you know, like Charles Leclerc, Charles Leclerc into the car, they would never ever take the chance of. And I do believe that Kimi Räikkönen is gonna get axed at the end of 2018. You know, although having said that, they might just go for another. You know, they might just give him another year. I mean, to back up Vettel. But depending, and the problem with Kimi Räikkönen is that he doesn't really give a monkeys about. He doesn't really want the wins anymore. I think. You know, I just get this vibe from him. You know, and I just think he knows he gets the money and that's it. I mean, when I did my 2017 predictions, I said that Kimi Räikkönen could win the championship, or was going to win the championship, because it was 10 years since his one and only championship. So, but how wrong was I? And to be honest with you, I think I don't want to get any hate mail for this, but I think the 2007 championship that he did win was a fluke. You know, because you know, I think that was a fluke because it was so close between Fernando and Lewis at the time. We all know how that ended, you know what I mean? So I think Kimi was the lucky third person there. If that wouldn't have happened, I don't think Kimi would have been world champion that year. So anyway, guys, this has been it. Thanks for watching, and once again, I mentioned, as I mentioned at the top of this video, if you do want to support me financially, then you can do so via my PayPal or my Patreon site. Thank you, cheers for watching, bye!